Real specific route set out. Each rider is allowed to pretty much plot their own course.
This year I'm going to go counterclockwise. There's no set pattern, there's no magic formula, just whatever people want to do. My goal is to get away from Cleveland first thing in the morning and not have to deal with Cleveland again.
There are, however, 5 checkpoints during the Lake Erie Loop.
I will need a receipt from 50 miles within the surrounding border of Detroit. Gas receipt, food receipt, anything like that. I need a receipt. Yeah, a traffic ticket for speeding, you know, they usually time them. Then when you go to the eastern end of the lake, I need a receipt from 50 miles within the borders of Buffalo. Some of us will be taking the New York Thruway. Some of us will take the Ohio Turnpike. If you get those receipts, we'll certainly take those into consideration. And we need 1 receipt from somewhere in Ontario. Those of you with chase vehicles, please have them be chase vehicles, not lead vehicles busting the air for you and drafting them.
I want to see an official copy of the rules on that.
It's about the drafting. If they're going to draft,
It's all about the drafting.
Drafting is when you get directly behind a larger vehicle, and what that does is they break the air in front of you, so you can, on a bike that normally would maybe only go 70 miles an hour, they will be sucked along by the vehicle in front of them that may be doing 80. So if you were by yourself and all you can do is 70, now you can do 80, or however fast that person is going.
I can go 55 on my own, but like Charlie says, you get a draft, do a little drafting, you can go 60.
It's something that's done in like NASCAR and motorcycle racing and all forms of racing, but on the city streets it's kind of a scary thing, because if that person has to stop, you have no chance of stopping before you hit them. Or if they blow a tire on the semi, it's, I mean, I enjoy racing, but I don't want to die doing this.
I must bring it up, the copper rule. In order to consider a finisher, you must finish under your own power, not being towed in or pushed in or pedaled in or anything. Your motor must be running on at least 1 cylinder when you make it back in. Charlie Cooley is back to defend his title. Yeah. Charlie's official reign ends tonight as the overall finisher of the Lake Erie Loop.
First year I was dead last. Second year I was first.
So he bookends the event, so he's finished somewhere in the middle now.
And this year I will again repeat my my second year win. I'm very confident of that this year, and in spite of everyone telling me that isn't going to happen, but I know better.
I think I am going to be sure to stock up on a cooler full of nice cold beer for when I do get across the finish line, to just kick back and relax and watch all the other riders come in.
Okay, that's it, we're done. Everybody get a good night's sleep and ride safe tomorrow. I want to see everybody here tomorrow night. Hopefully I'll be here to greet most of you as you come in.
Wishful thinking.
Final question, what's up with the Steeler hat? This is Browns country here.
Well, I come from Pittsburgh area, so I do it honestly. Even when I lived in Buffalo, I wore a Steeler hat.
Hey, I was in Pittsburgh during the playoff game when Carson Palmer got nailed.
Yeah. Second play of the game, right?
Yeah.
That was terrible.
It was, yeah.
I felt bad about that too.
Yeah.
That you don't want to see that happen to any competitor.
Right.
Just like I don't want Charlie's bike to break down.
I've ridden 1,400 miles in a day. I've ridden, longer than that. But I've never ridden such a small bike, such a long distance. in basically like in the forced march mentality.
And I try to watch my navigation, because that's probably the biggest trick of all, is being assured that you don't take a wrong route.
You've got the lake off to your right, hopefully, the whole trip. Somewhere. Somewhere. It's somewhere over there. If you get too lost, go till you hit water and turn left.
I've got a crib sheet on my tank, and I have every 50 miles things that I've got to be doing, turn-offs, routes, and all that stuff. And so basically, I don't think about the 650 miles or the 14 hours. Basically, I'm thinking that in 50 miles, I got to be looking for this exit. 50 miles, I got to be making this turn. 50 miles, I got to be doing. Before you know it, you're just clicked off the mile, because you're going at it one step at a time rather than worrying about the whole event.
You know, when you're riding for that type of distance, you get tingling in your hands can go numb holding onto the handlebars. Your feet just touching the foot pegs, everything gets tingly and numb. And you generally are going to be probably moving around a little bit, changing positions on the bike, slide back, slide forward, lean down.
You can stay sane if you can have 3 different positions to ride in.
Okay.
So like you can be riding upright, should be the most comfortable, and then you need to have like a modified, and then you need to have like the lounge chair position. Yeah, like the completely laid out like this. And if you can do that on a bike, and you can change your position enough times, you can stay comfortable.
Stay comfortable.
And you keep your mind sharp too. There's a moment in every race where you can judge yourself and you can say, boy, I'm really doing poorly, or man, I'm doing really great. Well, I didn't have that moment until I was in like Ontario. These guys on the 200cc motorcycles passed me. And I was like, well, I'm already on the other side of the lake, and they're just passing me now. Well, I gotta be doing good.
Good time.
Yeah, I gotta be making good time. So at that point, my brain switched over from being kind of a, we're just doing this for fun, to prove that the bike's durable. And at that point, I really did go into the red mist kind of competition mode. And I started taking my marker out and writing on my Speedo all my mileage points. So I knew that at 112 miles, the bike stopped running. So, you know, at that wide open throttle. So I started getting all these, you know, crazy ideas in my head.
This muffler here came up.
Oh, shit.
The welds broke off on it. So
What's that mean?
Well, we're just gonna have to wire it up, and I got some baling wire. We're gonna wire the shit out of it and try to hold on them.
These bikes are not designed to do 650 miles in a day. It's just amazing what these people do to keep these things together. They duct tape them, they come in with things strapped to them and bungee cords and duct tape.
At full throttle with a lot of vibrations, these old bikes tend to loosen up quite a bit.
Ernie's bike, the first year, his swing arm bolt almost fell out. And the swing arm bolt basically holds the back end of the motorcycle on.
His front fender actually fell off and went under the front of his tire.
And when we went to load the bike into his truck the next day, I went to lift it up by the shock, and the shock came off in my hand.
So he had a pretty eventful ride that time, but he made it home safely.
We all kind of took that for the second year as a little learning experience that I'm going to safety wire stuff on so it doesn't fall off. Safety wiring is when you drill a hole through the bolt and screw the nut on and then put some wire on there so it doesn't fall off.
Even a dab of super glue helps keep them from vibrating loose.
These people that do the Lake Erie Loop really do a whole lot of stuff that's above and beyond just to compete.
It's challenging, again, both physically on the rider and the motorcycle.
One of them changed the motor yesterday mid-race.
My goal is not to win.
The one guy blew his electrical system.
My goal is to finish.
Mostly